first asked to do this, the first question I had was, why me? When I started trying to figure out what to write, I realized that I didn't know, as a first-year teacher, that I could offer all of you. This was kind of the way that my emotions went my first year, just as it was predicted. The fact that I didn't know was what I decided to base my entire presentation off of. If that bothers you, I'm really sorry, but you are more than welcome to leave. It's okay. So I believe that my first year was actually really successful based on the fact that I didn't know. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know who the students were. I just knew that I wanted to be there. My freshmen loved it because we got to learn about the school together, and my sophomores loved it because they got to teach me a lot about the school. As most teachers, my goal was to create a welcoming, safe environment where students felt safe to answer questions and always come to me if I could help them in any way. And in my geometry class, it only took one student to really bring out that I don't know feeling. We were reviewing systems of linear equations on the calculators, and he said, what else are we going to use these calculators for in geometry? And I really didn't know how to answer that question. I hadn't really thought about it, and I chose to be honest with him. I said, I don't know, I would like to, but I'll have to look into it. And then a student told me, what about coding on the calculators? And your first thought might be similar to mine, where I said, coding in geometry? Is that even a thing? I know you can code in the calculators, but what could I possibly do with geometry that was going to connect to what we were doing, but also keep the students interested? I really didn't know where to start. I took one coding class in college. Java was not my forte. Thanks to YouTube videos and Texas Instruments' 10 Minutes of Code, I started to feel like I was going to be able to do this. The first lesson I did was the quadratic formula. I guided students through coding the quadratic formula, introducing the key terms like prompt and display, and clearing the home screen, how to open a new document. And then from there, we moved into the Pythagorean theorem. But I had the students do this themselves in their groups. I didn't guide them at all, I just reminded them what the Pythagorean theorem was. Most groups were able to do it by putting in the lengths of the legs and then finding out what the length of the hypotenuse was. One group decided that they wanted to go above and beyond and do it for any case of the triangles to find the third side. They discovered what menus and labels were, which again, I didn't even know existed. So the first menu part, they called it Pythagoras, and it did have both the leg lengths that you were putting in, looking for the length of the hypotenuse, and the other part asked for the one length of the leg and the hypotenuse to find the other length. An error came up on their screen, and naturally they came to me, and I didn't know what to do, so I Googled it. Google gave me this code that I'm showing here, and it took me a little while to understand what was going on, but with the minimal coding experience I had, I was able to help them. So now the kids were really interested in doing it. I knew I had to dig further to figure out how am I going to balance geometry and coding. They're two different things. How are they going to work together where they balance out but I'm still covering what I need to, but I'm keeping them interested? So again, thanks to Texas Instruments for creating the TI rover. And they're really not paying me to give an advertisement for them, but they should be. Donors choose, helped me get 10 of them extremely quick, and my students fell in love with them. We were working with polygons. The rovers draw if you code them what to draw. So we started off with the equilateral triangle. That's the only code I knew, and I said go. From there, they created pentagons, squares, overlapping triangles. They were working together, and they were showing me what the codes were that they were doing. I had no idea what was going to happen. Now that excitement is what kept me going. They showed my principal, they tried teaching him. He told me that he's going to order more of them with the help of our alumni, and these are just more pictures of what they came up with. I'm excited to see what I can do next year, and I'm challenging you to see what you can do with your I don't knows, because some of the most memorable teaching experiences from my first year certainly stem from me not knowing.